Did you know that lobsters pee out of their faces, or that Earth once had 2 moons? From Venus flytraps counting before they attack to the US military's bizarre gay bomb idea, this video is packed with mind-bending facts you've probably never heard. Let's dive in. Lobsters might look tough, but did you know they pee right out of their faces? Yep, those nozzles beneath their eyes are for urinating. What's crazier is that they use this to communicate, whether they're fighting or flirting. So, when you see a lobster, remember it might be talking in a way you didn't expect. Imagine looking up at the sky and seeing 2 moons. Scientists believe Earth may have once had a smaller moon that collided with the bigger one, leaving us with just one. It's fascinating to think our night sky could have looked totally different. In the 1990s, the US military explored a bizarre concept that has since gained notoriety: the idea of creating a gay bomb. The official name for this project was the non-lethal chemical weapon, which aimed to produce a chemical that would make enemy soldiers sexually attracted to each other. The intention behind this unconventional weapon was not to inflict physical harm, but to distract or demoralize opposing forces during combat. The proposal was based on the assumption that if soldiers were overwhelmed with sexual attraction to each other, it would disrupt their focus and ability to fight. The idea sounds outlandish today, and it drew a fair amount of ridicule even at the time. The military explored various methods, including the use of pheromones, chemical substances that can influence the behavior of other members of the same species. However, the project never made it past the planning stages and was ultimately shelved. Thankfully, this bizarre concept never got off the ground, but it's one of the weirdest ideas ever proposed. Bees aren't just hard-working pollinators, they're also pretty good at remembering faces. They can recognize individual humans by the layout of facial features, just like we do. So if you swat at a bee, it might just remember you. Venus flytraps are known for snapping shut on their prey, but did you know they count before attacking? They wait for 2 consecutive touches from their prey before making a move, ensuring they don't waste energy on a false alarm. It's like nature's little calculator. Lake Nyos in Cameroon is a volcanic lake that can explode. When carbon dioxide builds up under the surface, it can release deadly clouds of gas, suffocating anyone nearby. This phenomenon, called a limnic eruption, is as terrifying as it sounds. Believe it or not, the shortest flight in the world lasts only 90 seconds. The flight between Westray and Papa Westray in Scotland is quicker than your average coffee break. If you blink, you might miss it. Ever wonder why birds can perch on power lines without getting shocked? Electricity is always looking for a way to flow from a high voltage area to a lower voltage area, typically aiming to reach the ground. If a bird lands on a single power line, the electricity doesn't have anywhere to go. It just stays on the wire. The bird's body isn't a good conductor of electricity, and since it's not touching the ground or a different wire with a different voltage, the current doesn't flow through the bird. In short, the bird doesn't become a path for the electricity, so it remains perfectly safe. However, if a bird were to touch 2 wires at once or 1 wire and something connected to the ground, it would complete the electrical circuit, and the electricity would pass through its body, resulting in electrocution. This is why squirrels or larger animals sometimes get electrocuted. They accidentally bridge the gap between wires or a wire and the ground. The simple trick birds follow is purely instinctual. By sitting on just 1 wire and not touching anything else, they avoid becoming part of the circuit, and that keeps them safe. Pretty clever. Here's a mind-blowing one. Humans share 98% of their DNA with chimpanzees and 50% with cabbages. Yet, you and your salad are more genetically related than you think. It's a reminder that all life is deeply interconnected. You can hear silence in space. The idea that you can hear silence in space may sound contradictory, but it's true and fascinating. Space is a vacuum, which means there is no air to carry sound waves. This is why you wouldn't hear anything if you were floating in space. However, astronauts do experience what they describe as a kind of silence when they are inside their spacesuits or spacecraft. The interior of a spacesuit is filled with air to keep the astronaut alive, so they hear things that happen inside their suit, like their own breathing, heartbeat, and even the blood circulating in their bodies. This creates a surreal experience, where the absence of external sounds makes the internal sounds much more noticeable. Astronauts have said it can feel strangely peaceful, yet isolating, as their own body becomes the only thing they can hear. In fact, this kind of silence can feel almost loud because, in the absence of outside noise, the small sounds from within become magnified. So while space itself is completely silent, the human experience of silence in space can still feel alive with the sound of your own body, almost as if you can hear the sound of silence. Jellyfish are 95% water. Jellyfish might look spooky, but they're mostly made of water, 95% to be exact. That's why they're so fragile despite their sometimes scary appearance. They're basically floating blobs of water. The oldest your mum joke is 3,500 years old. The classic your mum joke is way older than you think, 3,500 years old to be exact. A Babylonian tablet dating back to 1500 BC contains the oldest known your mum joke. Even ancient civilizations couldn't resist a little humor. The tablet contains a series of riddles and jokes, but the specific your mum joke is missing parts of the text, making it difficult to reconstruct in full. Here's the fragment that remains. Of your mother is by the one who has intercourse with her. While the complete context and punchline are lost, it's clear that this ancient joke was some form of insult involving someone's mother. The surviving portion suggests it may have been along the lines of the modern your mum jokes that playfully mock or tease. However, because of the damage to the tablet, we can only speculate about the rest of the joke. There's a creature that hasn't evolved in 200 million years. Meet the coelacanth, a fish that hasn't changed in 200 million years. Thought to be extinct until it was rediscovered, it's like a living fossil that gives us a glimpse into Earth's ancient past. Water can boil and freeze at the same time. It sounds impossible, but under the right conditions, water can boil and freeze at the same time. This is called the triple point, when water exists as a gas, liquid, and solid all at once. Science is wild. Octopuses can edit their own genes. Octopuses are already cool, but did you know they can edit their own genes? One of the most astonishing facts about octopuses is that they can edit their own genes. This ability is a form of genetic adaptation that allows them to respond to environmental changes or threats without altering their DNA sequence. Octopuses have a special kind of genetic material known as RNA, which plays a crucial role in translating the genetic code into proteins that carry out various functions in the body. Unlike DNA, which is fixed and inherited from parents, RNA can be modified after it is created. This means octopuses can change how their RNA is expressed, allowing them to produce different proteins based on their needs. This process is known as RNA editing. For example, if an octopus lives in a colder environment, it might edit its RNA to produce proteins that help it survive in those temperatures. Conversely, in warmer waters, it can adjust its proteins to suit that environment better. This remarkable ability is not limited to just temperature regulation. It can also aid in camouflage, allowing octopuses to change color and texture to blend into their surroundings, helping them evade predators or ambush prey. One fascinating aspect of this ability is that it may explain how octopuses are able to learn and adapt so quickly to their surroundings. For instance, octopuses are known for their problem-solving skills, and their ability to modify their genetic expression could contribute to this intelligence. They can learn from experiences and adjust their behaviors accordingly, which may be partially facilitated by their genetic adaptability. Talk about being masters of evolution. Cows moo in different accents. Just like humans, cows from different regions speak with different accents. The moo of a cow in the United States won't sound quite the same as one in England. It's like a regional dialect for our bovine friends. There's a single-celled organism larger than some fish. The xenophyophore is a single-celled organism that can grow to the size of a grapefruit. Found in the deep sea, It's one of the strangest creatures out there, despite being made up of just one cell. The largest living thing on Earth is not a whale or a tree, it's a fungus. A giant honey fungus in Oregon covers about 3.7 square miles. It's not just big, it's ancient too, around 2,400 years old. The Vikings were crafty in more ways than one. They used urine to start fires. They would soak a fungus called tinder fungus in urine, which, after drying, could ignite from a single spark and smolder for days. Despite all its mountains and valleys, if you shrunk the Earth down to the size of a billiard ball, it would actually be smoother. The differences in height are so tiny in comparison to the planet's size, it's less bumpy than the balls used in pool. There you have it. 20 facts that make you realize how bizarre and amazing our world is. Whether it's lobsters peeing out of their faces, cows with accents, or the fact that Earth used to have 2 moons, there's always something new to learn. Which fact blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more incredible facts. And finally, thank you for watching this video.